धरती हो या गगन हो, मधुबन हो या वतन हो, रहते कहीं भी बाबा तुम्हें साथ अपने पाए।
हम पर तुम्हारे साए, हम पर तुम्हारे साए।
ओम शांति। First of all, welcome to all of you who have come in these few days, because I can see many new faces. Most of you must have come for the youth retreat. So, all those who have come for the youth retreat, raise your hand. Okay, only some of you. Okay. Those who came after Baba's meeting on the 15th, anybody who came after that, who didn't attend the meeting? Achha. Okay. You are from Turkey? Greece? Okay. You came yesterday? Oh, you missed the meeting. Okay. That's all. The rest were there for the meeting, no? Okay. So any first timers? Acha, first timers. Okay. How many? Raise your hand. First timers? Who's there? Stand up. Can't see you. That's you. Okay. So nice to see all of you. I don't know how many of you would go to Gyan Sarovar and stay. Those who will shift to Gyan Sarovar, they raise their hand. The others will be in Panda Bhavan, Japan, Panda Bhavan. Oh. You are going to Gyan Sarovar? You will move to Gyan Sarovar? Okay. Who's leaving tomorrow? Acha, Africa group. And who else? You also? Okay. The Murli is ready and she is folding. We are folding in the office and you'll get it at the end of the class. Baba's latest Avyakt Murli. We were working on that yesterday till late night, and this morning it was printed, and so that it could be, we could give you in time at the end of the class. But the topic I'm going to take up now is what Baba spoke on Sunday morning. All of you heard the Murli of Sunday? It was experiencing the power of concentration through determination and gaining success, something like that. So, what is the power of concentration? What is the meaning of concentration? And how does concentration become a power? First of all, let us understand concentration, and then how it's a power, and then the benefits, and then how to experience it. So what exactly is concentration? If we say it in spiritual terms, it means my thoughts, intellect and sanskars mind, intellect and sanskars, they are in one alignment. They go in one line. They go simultaneously together. There is no chaos. Sometimes there is chaos. The mind thinks something else. The intellect is deciding something else. And the sanskars are something else. And you are doing something else. Yes? You are not really doing what your mind is thinking or what your intellect is deciding. Or maybe it's not even according to your sanskars. You are quite different, but still, everything is so strange. And you yourself are finding it strange. You say, oh, it's all, why am I so funny like that? You really don't know what you are doing. So none of the faculties of the soul are working together in alignment or cooperating with one another, going together. We sometimes tell, what's the difference between a dialogue and an argument? What's the difference between a dialogue and an argument? What's the difference? Yes? Dialogue? It is? Yeah, it's like taking turns. And then you are going in the same direction. Supposing whatever I said, you agree with me, and then you add something of your own. Then the other one agrees with you and me and adds something of his own. The next one agrees to all the three and adds something of his own. So it's like a multiplication of information, and we are all adding or multiplying to our own information, and we are all going together in the same line. And what is argument? I say something and you cut that. You say, no, not like that. You say, no, not like that. You say, no, not like that. It's an argument. And each one thinks he is the best. He knows better than anybody else. And the other one doesn't know anything. So they begin to argue. They don't want to accept anyone. They have no respect for anyone. They think they are the best. So it's a big argument. First it's an argument, which could be like a dispute. In English we have many words. It's like a dispute, an argument. And then gradually it turns into a quarrel. Quarrel is a little higher stage. The intensity grows of that dispute. And then quarrel ultimately reaches a battle. And then a battle goes to a war. Then you have the war. And that is the end. That's all. And everyone is destroyed, finished. Ultimately it reaches there. But then a dialogue, and then we talk about composite dialogue. Nowadays you have these terms also, composite dialogues, where they come together, they do discuss. Discussion is good because opinions may be different. My opinion may not match with your opinion. So let us discuss. Let us sit on the table and discuss what are my views, what are your views, and discuss. But then reach to a compromise. You go one step ahead, that one comes one step towards you, and you reach you compromise. Okay, I give up something, you give up something, I accept something of yours, you accept something of mine, and therefore it's a compromise. And we become friends. So that's called negotiation. Though we differ, but yet we understand each other, we respect each other, we negotiate, and then accept what is accepted by all in common. So the same thing goes with concentration too. This is the internal side. My mind thinks something, but then it depends on what my mind is influenced by. If my mind is influenced by lust, anger, greed, attachment, ego, jealousy, hatred, attractions, possessions, so there is possessiveness, all these, what Baba says, are vices, then definitely my mind is not stable. Because it's like two sides of a coin. The soul is very pure in its eternal form, its original form. But because of lack of knowledge of the self, because of ignorance, because of body consciousness, the mind is influenced by all the physical things, even the body itself. Like Baba was saying in today's Murli, in the blessing, that, when somebody is physically ill and he keeps talking and somebody is hearing and then also saying his illness and all, it doesn't really work. So let the physical body be ill. If it is ill, okay. But what should the mind be? It should be happy. The physical body should not affect the mind. On the contrary, the thought should be, well, now I've got time to rest. I've got time to be with Baba. Supposing he gets sick, he got flu, fever, whatever, a big cough, okay, good, time to rest. I should not speak. It's good for me. So seeing the positive side of it. And in this way, the mind is not influenced by the senses or influenced by the physical body, influenced by the environment, the atmosphere. But it is the intellect which is guiding the mind. Because intellect is always the superior side, of the soul. What Baba says, conscience, the inner voice of the soul, which is always guiding us towards the right side. But then, mind is like two sides of a coin. It's like between the bridge. It's like a bridge between the perfect soul and the body and this world and everything. So the mind is influenced by the body and the body is influenced by the mind. Of course, if the mind is not in a peaceful state, then so many diseases come in the body. Therefore we say it's like two sides of a coin. Now, what the mind should do, the intellect should decide. But if the senses decide, then what happens? Then ultimately everything goes topsy-turvy. Sometimes we compare the intellect, as Baba says, the mind and the intellect. Intellect is like the judge, and the mind is like the two lawyers, the two advocates, both advocating for their own client. Now both think that they are right. But who should decide who is right? The judge. He should decide. So that is why the intellect is shown in the form of a scale. It's a scale. In that scale there are three things. One is a needle, which is pointed upwards, which is vertical. Then the second is a horizontal rod, and then there are the two scales at the bottom, which should be equal. Should be in level. So when is the decision proper? when it is a good decision, the real decision, the right decision, when the needle is vertical. The horizontal line is straight, it's not shaking. The vertical line is not fluctuating. And then the horizontal line is also not fluctuating or shaking. And the two scales, they are also equal. Well, what does a scale do? A balance, what does it do? It just gives the weight, that's all. It doesn't tell anything else. It just tells you the weight of what is put in that scale. On one side are the weights. So when is the weight proper, real or good one, is the right one? Only when the needle is completely vertical. So that stands for the mind. As Baba says, the mind should be towards Baba. That's why Baba says, keep your mind in me. And the horizontal rod should be unbiased, unbiased. What happens, people get biased. Biased means they get influenced by others. For example, a judge is supposed to be he should be very impartial. But sometimes judges become partial. How do they become partial? When somebody bribes them. If he's bribed, if they bribe him, then he becomes influenced by that party. And then he gives the decision in favor of that party because he's bribed. But then a judge has to be very, very impartial. He cannot be influenced by anyone. And that means a horizontal rod means completely unbiased, uninfluenced by any external circumstances. Whether there is fame or name or defamation, I should be the same. It's not that if I get praise or I get a name, then I'm too proud. Oh, well, color up. Yes, I'm praised so much. I'm the hero here. I'm the star here. Or, I have so many fans. See, they all praise me. So people become so proud. They start boasting about themselves. So Baba says, it's like a balloon. You put air into the balloon, what happens? It blows and blows and it looks so beautiful, because it is inflated. So when it gets inflated, it looks very beautiful. But what happens after some time if a needle is pricked? One little needle, and instantly all the air is blown out. And then it becomes like depleted. That's the condition of that balloon. So if my stage rises because of praise of somebody, and instantly if somebody insults me, abuses me, defames me, talks ill of me, and instantly my stage goes down. It's like inflation and depletion. So it's a fluctuation. One moment up, one moment, the next moment down. But unbiased means not influenced by anything external, whether there's praise or defamation, whether there's victory or defeat, whether there is benefit or loss. All these factors count, because all these are opposites. In this world, everything is relative. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is absolute. It's relative, because whatever I get, it is either more than someone or less than someone, what someone else has. Whatever I have, somebody may be having 10 times of what I have, and somebody may not be having even one of what I have. So what I have is not everything. So what is there to boast of? Because everything is relative in this world. But then, whatever I have, I'm happy with it, because that is what the intellect understands. But be happy, be contented, be satisfied. However much more you will get, if you go for more and more, there's never really any satisfaction. So the intellect understands this. And the result is it controls the mind, and that controls the senses. So the scale is like the needle pointed upwards, unbiased or uninfluenced by the external factors, whether I gain or I lose. My inner stage is not dependent on external things. This is what concentration really is. If my inner stage is dependent on external things, I will always fluctuate. Always. And some people will wait for the happiness to come. They'll say, well, when I get this money, I'll be happy. When I get a job, I'll be happy. When I get promotion, I'll be happy. When I get a house, I'll be happy. When I get a child, I'll be happy. When I get this, I'll be happy. Okay, they get it and then they say, okay, when I get this, I'll be happy. So when will the happiness come? It will never come. But happiness is now or it is never. Because it has nothing to do with the external things. It is my inner state of consciousness. Because in my original sanskar, I am a happy soul. So, mind, intellect, sanskars go in one direction. The sanskars are my original sanskars. They are influencing the intellect, and the intellect, which is my inner conscience, is influencing the mind, and the mind is then controlling the senses. So, sanskars means the values. That's the third stage of a scale. So, intellect means mind, means concentration, means mind, intellect, sanskars, all three working in alignment, all three together. So when all three are working together, then I can say I am totally concentrated. This is one aspect of understanding concentration. The second aspect of understanding concentration is, as Baba says, my virtues, my karma, and gun, karma, and my nature. They also should work in alignment. My virtues, my actions, my nature should work in alignment. It's not my nature is something different, my acts that I'm doing are something different, and my inside my qualities, my virtues are something different. Nature could be different from your virtues. Some people have the nature of laughing too loudly. That's their nature, that's what they say. It's my nature. But then when something happens, they just become very serious. But that's not their nature. The nature is to smile, to be happy, to be humorous. And some people have the nature of being very serious. But then when time comes, they try to be happy. Because it's not their nature, but then they are exposing that quality which they think is good at that time. Again they'll go back to their nature. But then my virtues, my actions and my nature should also be the same. They should go together. And then that's why Baba talks about natural nature. The natural nature of every soul, something which is natural, doesn't need to be attained through efforts. It is natural. So my virtues, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, whatever I'm the embodiment of, they should tally with my actions, and that is my natural nature. So virtues, actions and nature, they should go together. So if all this goes together, then I am in the concentrated stage. And how you attain that? Baba says meditation helps us. How meditation helps us? Because that's what we do in meditation. No? Baba says, you are a point, become a point, you are a dot, remember a dot and apply a dot. This is concentration. Become a dot, remember a dot and apply a dot. What is this? This is concentration. What happens during concentration? The sun rays, when they focus against a convex lens, they focus through a convex lens. And if you put a paper at the focal point, what happens? That is concentration. No? The sun rays, they are unlimited sun rays, and the sun is so far. Usually when the sun rays fall on the earth, nothing burns like that. But then when the sun rays are concentrated through a convex lens, they converge. They converge and reach the focal point, and that at the focal point, a very tiny reflection is created of such a huge sun. So such a powerful sun is displayed in the form of a tiny little reflection which has the power of the whole sun, because all the rays are like concentrated. And that tiny little dot on the paper of the sun, the reflection, if a paper is put there, immediately it starts burning. We used to learn that in school. We used to experiment like that in school. And so how does that happen? Because the rays were concentrated, they were converged. So what does Baba tell us? First of all, become a dot. Become a dot. How do I become a dot? It's not so easy to become a dot like that, such a big body, 50 kilos, 60 kilos, some may be very tall, 5 feet, 6 feet tall, so huge body, and become just a dot. Those are maybe tiny stature, okay, it may be easier. But big in size, giants they are, some of them, more than 6 feet tall. So for them, is it easy to become a point of light? Is it easy or not? No? Actually, for anybody it can be easy, or even for a small one it can be difficult. It's like that. It's all in your mind again. So Baba says that become a point, and therefore Baba says stabilize yourself at the center of your forehead. And it's very interesting that people who practice Hatha Yoga or any different type of asanas, different exercises they do. So all the different exercises they do for the physical body, at the end of all that, they'll just lie down. They lie down and they practice the death posture, Shavasana, what they call it. And when they lie down, how do they practice it? I'm not the feet, I'm not the legs, I'm not this, I'm not the stomach, I'm not the chest, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. And they just relax in this way. They try to make it very, very like, detach themselves from that. I'm not this, I'm not this. Ultimately they reach here. Now Baba tells us, you start from here. Not to reach here ultimately. This is not the end point. But this is the beginning point. In an instance, I elevate my consciousness and become aware of the self as a point of divine light and might seated at the center of my forehead. And if I wish, I can send my power, my energy to my different senses. Because I am the master. So become a master of your senses. It's not that I make my senses like dead, and then I activate here. But I activate here at the beginning and send the energy to my senses, because the Master is sitting here. And as Baba says, I'm the soul looking through these eyes. I'm the soul speaking through this mouth. I'm the soul listening through my ears. So if I don't want to listen, don't want to speak, don't want to see, I can just go beyond. And even if the ears are able to hear, but I'm not listening because I'm not paying attention. So I'm the master of my senses. And then the intellect is guiding the mind, taking it away from the senses and guiding the mind to the Supreme. So Baba says, become a point and remember a point. The intellect guides the mind to that point. As we say, God is a point of light, but an ocean in His virtues. So an ocean in a dot, that is the form of God. Infinite in an infinitesimal dot. Infinite qualities, but all merged in an infinitesimal dot. So tiny and yet so powerful, so powerful. People in the world, when they do any type of concentration, what they do, they put a dot maybe on a wall, and they try to concentrate on that dot on a wall. Or they light a candle and they concentrate on that candle, on the light of that candle. But Baba says you don't have to do that. Our meditation is not that. That what they say in the world is called Riddhi Siddhi, Tantra, Mantra. They use all those very bad occult powers they use. In that also a lot of concentration is needed. But then Baba says your method is different. It is not Riddhi Siddhi, it is not occult powers. But through the right method you are getting the success of that concentration. Because there they would just concentrate on a dot maybe. But then here we say God is a dot. God is a point of light. So the consciousness is aware of the self and aware of the Supreme Being, who is the Almighty Authority, who is a dot in form but an ocean in virtues. And I have all relationships with that dot, because I am a dot too. The attraction towards that dot is immense because I am like that one. The attraction is because of the likeness. There's no attraction of any sort. They just concentrate on a dot, that's all. And then try to make the mind blank. Here Baba says, you're not really making your mind blank. On the contrary, you are transcending in your consciousness and concentrating on the highest on high Supreme Being. What they do even in transcendental meditation, Mahesh Yogi, you must have heard of his name. So what they do, they try to transcend, means going from above, from the physical level. But then, that's what they think, and they try to make their mind blank, completely blank. At the beginning they'll first concentrate on their breath, and then gradually just become blank. Now Baba says you don't have to become blank. Becoming blank is not our aim, but to transcend all the physical attractions and be attracted towards just one, the Supreme Being. So all the attraction goes towards the Supreme Being. And there's a relationship with the Supreme Being, who's a point in form and an ocean in virtues. So we are concentrating on that one who is actually above all this mundane world, who's in the transcended form, the highest form. We are not just going beyond the physical and that's it. We are not just lying in something in the air, but we know we have another world from where we have come, and we have to return to that world. That is our true home. We have come from our Supreme Father, and we have to return to that Supreme Father. That Supreme Father. So we have a destination, we have a goal, we have an aim, we have an objective, and therefore we are able to reach that goal through that awareness of our eternal form and original form, and the relationship with the Supreme, the highest on high, and therefore I am able to concentrate on that highest on high being with the relationship and love for the Supreme Being. There when they practice, there is no question of emerging love for God, no question of having any relationship with God, no question of taking the qualities of the Supreme in you, no such thing at all, just becoming blank, that's all. So concentration means you are concentrating on something, no? So concentrating on what? It's not something physical, even if physically no dot is there, no point is there, even Baba's light, if it is not there, doesn't matter, I can still remember the Supreme Being. Like somebody's photo is there, only then you can remember him. It's not like that. Even without the photo, you are able to remember that person. Sometimes, a girl is engaged to a boy, they've never seen each other. In the olden days, parents used to get them married, they never knew each other beforehand. But even in spite of not having seen each other, still how they remember each other. It's very interesting. They used to remember each other. Of course, the photo would be shown. Yeah, that would definitely be shown. So Baba has shown us the photograph. So neither are you visible nor your beloved is visible. I remember once somebody saying very jokingly, in a very humorous mode, he said, just imagine, I'd never expected that I would fall in love with a point of light. So we have all fallen in love with a point of light, haven't we? Yes, because God is a point of light. But the most luminous light, the most glorious light, the most beautiful light, full of virtues, full of all powers, full of all the love we can imagine, you just think of it and you can be absorbed in it. You're totally lost from the whole world and you're absorbed in God's love. So this is the beauty of the meditation Baba is teaching us. So people don't talk about soul and Supreme Soul at all when they want to learn meditation, because they don't know. They don't know what is soul and what is Supreme Soul. And therefore, where's the question of getting any strength? And also not just they don't get the strength, they have no other aim. The aim is just to become blank. But Baba has given us such a big aim. You have to become world sovereigns. You have to take complete inheritance from God. You have to become like the Father. Such a high aim which nobody can even think of. And therefore, in order to attain that aim, of course, this is the effort we make. And why it becomes easy? Because I have the faith in me that I am a soul. I am the child of God. That faith does the wonders. Faith then leads to the intoxication. That intoxication then leads to reaching our goal. Without faith, the intoxication will not come. And without intoxication, you'll never be able to reach your goal. When people do the shooting, they have to hit a target. So first they must have that faith. Yes, I will definitely hit the target. My arrow will hit the target. First that faith should come. If the faith isn't there, I don't know whether my arrow will hit the target or not. I don't know whether I'll be successful or not. I don't know. Then what will happen? You'll never be able to do it. So first that faith, I'll definitely do it. And then the intoxication, the vision that yes, it has already gone there, it's already reached there, already there it is. And then with the intoxication, shoot the arrow and it will reach. In these Olympics, there were, India won a gold medal, one brother won a gold medal, I don't know if you know about it. Pardon? For shooting, yeah. Abhinav something his name was. So, our sisters and brothers met him, he got a gold medal, because the only gold medal in India it lost in everything. Maybe 2 bronzes, but otherwise just 1 gold medal only. And then our sisters and brothers met that brother, and we just asked him that how he could get it. He said before that very morning he was very nervous, because that was the final. And but his coach, how he encouraged him, you will, and he had practiced a lot, definitely. And right from morning, later on, he just didn't do anything. He became completely silent. He was lost he had his own form of meditation, which he said he used to do. And then totally absorbed in that state. And then the faith, the intoxication, ultimately he could reach the target. He was saying, even I didn't realize how it reached, but it just went, as if God was there, pushing that arrow out, and it reached. He was sharing his experience with our sisters and brothers, how they went to meet him. Because he was the only one who brought some glory to God, to the India. But then when he got that gold, something very beautiful. When he got the first prize, and it was announced that he's got gold, he was so casual. No, jumping and shouting, and usually when somebody gets a gold, how he shouts and jumps and screams, oh, hooray. Nothing, so quiet, so soft-spoken, so just as if he was there, he knew it, and it happened, and therefore nothing very sensational, nothing very exciting, just quiet. Now different people took it in different ways, because all his nature came up, or what his nature was. So some people said he must be a very egoistic person, that he didn't even show any expression. He didn't show any expression, though he got a gold medal. But others said, no, he's a very meditative person. He's a very silent person, a very peaceful person. So some people took it in the wrong way. But they said, this is my nature. I never get excited. I never. Anything, let it happen, but I'm always very calm, very casual, very soft. Very soft-spoken. Even when he won the gold medal, he was so soft-spoken, people couldn't even hear him what he was saying, because he accepted it in a very natural manner. And those who got the second prize, third prize, they were so excited, and here he not at all. So people found it strange, because nobody else who ever got a gold medal was like that. But he was like that. He said, this is the result of the meditation which we learn in India. Some say, anyway. But what Baba is saying, that yes, concentration, how it helps. And so the faith is there, the intoxication is there, and the target is achieved automatically. So our meditation, Raj Yoga, gives us such a high aim. In every Murli, Baba is talking about building a kingdom, becoming world sovereigns, becoming a king, becoming a subject, or becoming a servant. Ask yourself what you want to become, whether you want to become a sovereign golden age or in silver age. So you have to decide now whether you want to come at the beginning of golden age, with Lakshmi Narayan in the first dynasty. So, see, our aim is so high. It's not just okay, silent, okay, no thinking, blank, no. But we are all aiming for the golden age. We're all aiming for a new world. We're all aiming for such an elevated stage of life. But here, of course, very simple, nothing here. The more we do the sacrifices here, the more will be our fortune. We know that. If we go for everything right now, we lose for the future, because what we have now also will not last very long. It's not going to last long, we know it. Everything is so fragile in this world now. Anything can happen, anytime. But we are preparing for that new world. Many people find it very strange. They say, live in the present. What you are living in the future? We say, but the present makes the future. This present is dependent on the past. If there wouldn't have been the past, there wouldn't have been this present. But this present will lead to the future. But then, my aim is definitely very high. So, power of concentration means when all are working in an aligned form. That's why Baba talks about my original sanskars, my divine intellect, clean mind. So, clean mind, divine intellect, and original sanskars. And then Baba says, it's not difficult, because that's what you are in your original form. So the awareness. Like we say, there's a giant sitting inside you. Just awaken that giant within you. So much power within the self. But then it has to go in that aligned form. The intellect should be guiding the mind should be controlling the senses. In a second, I should be able to go beyond. And this is what is helping us to also earn our income. Because we learn to apply a full stop. The knowledge of the drama is also enabling us to experience that power of concentration. Why is the mind so scattered? Sometimes because there are so many questions in the mind. Why this, what, that, how, why, what, when. What. Sometimes it's not just many thoughts, but it's one thought repeatedly being asked to the self. The same thought. Why? 100 times I'm asking the same question, and what happens? It's like banging at the same place. Banging. What will happen then? It will break. What is depression? How does depression come? Because I'm questioning myself again and again in the same way, same questions, and without getting the answers, and I'm draining away all my mental energy. And then I can't think anymore, and that's depression. A few weeks ago, I was in Allahabad. Allahabad is in North India, where the confluence of the Ganga, Ganges, Jamuna, Saraswati, the rivers meet. So there was a university there, and I went for the university program. The dean of that university, she's a lady, she was sharing her experience that her son, who was looked after so well, at home. They're very good people, and they have all the virtues, all the goodness in their life, and very intelligent son. So after his studies in India, he was sent to America to go for some electronics engineering there. Now, what happened was, where he was studying in the university, they had to prepare a website, something. And he was working with somebody, but actually he was more intelligent than the other one, his partner with whom he was working. And they did a lot of work, and then all of a sudden what happened, that person, his partner, he deceived him. And he took all the share all the praise, all the name. Actually it was this person who did all the job, the work and everything, all the task is. But then the other one, by manipulations and other things and some deception, he took over and all the credit went to that person and this one got nothing. And immediately this person went into depression. This young boy went into depression, and after that from college, and he came back to India because that person deceived him. So then the lady was saying, "Sister, you talk about values, you talk about all these things, you talk about all this, it's very good. But then I taught my son all the values, all the values which are needed in life. But then this encounter which he had with the other person who deceived him ultimately made my son become depressed, and now he's like a useless vegetable because he just can't think, he's just sitting idle, sleeping, not eating, little eating, was nothing. Such an intelligent boy. All of a sudden, what happened? I said, you must have taught him the values, okay, but then you didn't teach him meditation. You didn't teach him meditation because Baba teaches us meditation here. How to give a full stop. Okay, what happened? Happened. Baba says, don't ask questions. It was fixed in the drama. Nothing is really lost. So what? It happened. It had kalpa ago also it happened. Nothing new. Baba gives us the mantra of nothing new. And immediately we are able to go beyond without having any questions. So the knowledge of the drama enables us to be free from stress and also to be free from depression. Because stress is like the climax, the highest, and depression is the lowest stage. So neither stress, because in both the questions come, why? And then why? Then when stress comes, when I'm giving the answers in a negative way to myself, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll kill him, I'll do this, and then ultimately in stress, the negative energy is created and then they do anything. But in depression, what happens? All the energy is depleted. And then you become like a vegetable, no strength at all, nothing at all. So Baba says both extreme ends are wrong. Therefore, whatever knowledge Baba is giving to us, this is a wonderful middle path. This is the middle path. No extremes. Like people in the world, they have extremes. Either they are too body conscious, so body conscious, and so materialistic, they think this physical world is everything. Too materialistic. Or they become sannyasis. Everything Maya. The sannyasis, they say Maya to everything. Baba says, no, it's not Maya. We talk about golden age, we talk about heaven, Satyug, and many sannyasis say, why you talk about heaven? You people have greed in you, they say. We talk about heaven. I don't want anything. But moksha, mukti, salvation, liberation, don't want to come in this world. Nothing. We talk about Lakshmi, Narayan, Krishna, heaven, crown and throne and all. We don't want anything. So they say you people are greedy. We say no, we are not greedy. On the contrary, when we say heaven, we don't want only for ourselves. We want for everybody. Everybody should be happy. On the contrary, when they say we want moksha, mukti, liberation, salvation, we don't want to come into this world, we say this is greed. Because you're thinking only about yourself. I should be liberated, I should get moksha, I should not come in this world of sorrow again, this world is all maya, I don't want anything. But then what about their liberation? You talk only about yourself? So that is selfishness, no? So if people tell us, you people are selfish, you talk about heaven, this, all that. He said, no, you are selfish. Because you're thinking only about yourself. My liberation, my moksha, my mukti. And what about the other souls? When will they get mukti? But here Baba is saying, you're not going to go alone to Golden Age. Will you go alone? What will you do alone in Golden Age? Whom will you rule over? You need your subjects. So you have to create your subjects. You have to create a Golden Aged world. The world of law and order. And therefore one kingdom, one rule, one religion. Baba was talking the other day in a Murli. So first we create in this way. And then we create for the world. First we create in the self. So this is the middle path. When as I was reading the Murli yesterday, you must have heard the Murli yesterday, you were on Shantivan. Baba spoke about, some people say, why didn't God come in the body of a Bala Brahmachari, a small child, or a sannyasi? Why did God come in the body of a family man? Because they say sannyasi or a child is very pure. But family man means he had all the vices. So God comes in a family man. He should come in a pure person's body. But what did Baba say? Baba is establishing a family life. What is Golden Age? It's pure family life. So pure family life means a family man is needed, no? But of course Baba had all the royal sanskars, which were much higher than any ordinary person. Because the same soul in his last birth of Sri Krishna, you can imagine what his sanskars would have. Even the last birth he had those royal sanskars, though he was a family man. And deities are all family people, no? All the deities are family people. No deity is a sannyasi. But no deity is materialistic in that way. I remember once one double foreigner came to Baba. At that time Baba used to talk to us personally, to every individual child. That person told Baba, he was an artist. He told Baba, when I see the picture of Lakshmi Narayan, I'm not very attracted. So Baba smiled at him and he said, Baba, all the ornaments and the gold and the diamonds and all that, I have no interest. I don't want anything. So Baba said, it's not, child, that you need anything there. But this is a sign of a perfect human being. Perfect human being. Supposing you are told, you are given a topic, a subject for your painting. Perfect human being. How will you paint him as? Will you paint him as an old man, old person, or a child, or a diseased man, or a poor man, miserable looking person, unhappy looking person? No. So perfection, what does it mean? Perfect in body, perfect in mind, perfect in wealth, and perfect in relationships. So all relationships. So family means perfection in relationships also, living together. So perfection in wealth, complete wealth. So how will you show him? A pauper with torn clothes? You will show him in royal clothes. And the top of all that is the throne, to show the real perfection, because a sovereign, that is the real perfection. Not a beggar asking something, but a bestower giving. That is real perfection. So God says, I take you to that golden age. That is the real perfection. But then, the deities are not materialistic. They have all the values. But nothing is lacking there. And therefore no sorrow. Everyone has whatever one needs. Much more than that, and therefore everyone is happy. But that is God's gift to His children. This world is God's gift to His children. What we'll do in Paramdham, in soul world, there's nothing there. We'll just go to sleep. So that also is a must. We all will go to Paramdham, all will go home. But again Baba said, how will you return home? Do you want to return home with Baba, or do you want to return home after Baba has left? If you want to return home with Baba, then you'll have to become like Baba. So we have to become perfect also. We have to gain in all the virtues. We have to create our fortune for the future. All that we have to do. And the easiest and the best way Baba teaches us is go beyond in a second, come into sound, and then go beyond in a second. This is the exercise we do. That's why Baba says you have to become bodiless, becoming bodiless in a second. Going beyond sound in a second. This is our drill, which we have to do all the time. The 5 forms. All that comes in the steps of concentration. Seeing yourself in your home, being a point of light in a world of light, that is concentration. So the intellect controls the mind is then diverted to that abode. The next moment Baba says, consider yourself to be a deity, or consider yourself to be a worship-worthy soul. I should be able to experience that in a second. Sometimes Baba says you should be spinning the discus of the 3 aspects of time. So when I'm spinning the discus, at that time I should be spinning it in a positive way, not in a negative way. Sometimes we spin in a negative way, that I was a deity, and then I fell and became impure. No, not that. That's not the way to spin the discus. Baba never talks about becoming impure when you're spinning the discus. When Baba talks about the 5 forms, in those 5 forms, is there any impure form? Any impure form? Soul is also the purest form, deity form is the pure form, worship-worthy form again a pure form, Brahman a pure form, angel a pure form. So all the 5 forms are pure form, no question of impure form at all. So this is a positive way of spinning the cycle. Even that is part of concentration. Because immediately you are transported there in a second. You become the embodiment of it in a second. And through that, you attain all the qualities within yourself. So power of concentration is a very big power. And Baba says, in a second you can attain that, but then you need a long time practice. And the long time practice which we can do now, we can't do later on. Supposing I said, can I in a second just go beyond? I sometimes, share my experience. I don't know if you all know that I had a very bad accident. Does anybody know about this? Once I've shared a few times, I've had a very bad experience. We were 5 of us in a car. And somebody was driving, and all of a sudden someone came in front of the car, and the driver tried to save him. But in order to try to save him, he applied a very strong brake. But somehow the brake wasn't working, and it was still going. And then he turned his steering wheel to turn on the side, to not hurt that person. But then ultimately the car did hurt that person, and it hurt his foot, and he fell down. And he had logs of wood on his head. He was a tribal man. And that just jumped up and reached our car, the front screen, and it hit the screen, and all these glasses, those glass pieces, they started falling inside. And as the car turned, at that moment, first there was a thought, because I had seen a big pit, the whole car would have gone just in that pit. And just in front I had also seen a big pillar. Maybe it could have gone and crashed against a pillar, or it could have gone into the deep pit. But then what happened, all of a sudden, as the car moved, I told Baba, at least my experience, Baba, I'm coming to you. I became completely bodiless. I could feel, like just a point of light, that's all. Just a dot. For a few seconds I could feel this heart had stopped. Everything had stopped. And I was totally light, like the light was coming out. And then after a few, there was a big sound and many things. So then after I opened my eyes, we were all alive. We were all alive. And but of course, I was sitting at the back on one side, somebody in the middle, and the next one there. And those two sisters, they fell down inside the car, but I was holding the front seat. And then just saying that, I felt, okay, Baba, I'm coming to you. But what happened was actually neither did the car crash against a pillar, nor did it fall into that pit. Instead, there were many bushes there. And the car went and just slept over the bushes. The wheel came out, the door jammed, and the windows broke, everything. But then, nobody was actually hurt inside. We were all saved, like Baba just took us on in his arms. We were all Brahmins sitting in the car. It was very close to Abu Road. But then that was it. And but then my experience of just going beyond in a second, no other thought whatsoever. Otherwise people can scream, shout, but just going beyond. I was sharing an experience, somebody was sharing in Shantivan, very recently there was a very big terror attack in Bombay, you must have heard of it, in the Taj Mahal Hotel, very beautiful hotel of India. So what happened was the terrorists came and just started shooting, without any aim, just aimlessly. And people started falling, and shooting. And some of them, what they did, they knew that this is a terror attack. They came to know. And they just lied down and showed that they were dead. And the terrorists came and they said, anybody who was moving, shoot. They killed people like that. So somebody was sharing his experience, they shared with one of our sisters, that he was also there and he saw dead people, he saw bloodshed, he saw everything, and he also lied down. And those who were looking around, the terrorists shoot them. So what he did, he just lied down. He was actually in that hotel, there are 7-8 Brahmins working, Baba's children working in that hotel. There's a center very close to Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay. So what they did, they just lied down, showing that they were dead. Actually, they were not dead. They were very much alive, but then as good as dead, totally dead. And they said they were remembering Baba at that time. Baba, I'm with you. This body is dead. The soul is with Baba. And they survived. Nothing happened. The terrorists didn't shoot them. They thought they all were killed, all were dead. So they lied down as dead people. And that's for Baba. No, Baba's children were killed. And there were Baba's children in that hotel who were working there, actually. Of course, they didn't go for dinner there. But they were working there. So they were sharing, the sister of Kolaba Center in Bombay, she was telling about those souls. Because I asked, that there are 7, 8 Brahmins working in that hotel. So 2 of them were in that hotel, and how they survived, because they just lied down dead completely, and they became totally soul conscious, totally detached from everything instantly. So Baba said, at the end you won't be able to do anything, nothing. What can you do? You have to just go beyond. There will be time for us to go back. Or if we are in that high stage, even if impure people come in front of us, they will see only light and light, that's all. They won't see the physical body, because we are in that high stage of light. So that's why we have to prepare for the end. Nowadays they are doing a lot of disaster management courses. What if a disaster comes? How will you manage? But then most of that management has to be from within. The emotional quotient has to be very strong. We should not lose our emotions. We should not become upset. We must not become, angry. We must not start crying or shouting. Just be very calm, very calm. Only then we can survive. And how will we be that? Only when we are able to go beyond the pull of the body, beyond the pull of any type of attraction, through the power of concentration. Become a dot, apply a dot, and remember a dot. That's concentration. Okay? Okay? Om Shanti. Any questions? No? Babas? Baba the Sun, S-U-N. Baba is a spiritual sun, why not? Okay, I'll talk to you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, understand you much. You can talk to me later on. Prism. Yeah. It's all in the mind, you see. You have to experience in different forms, that's all. Yeah, you can create your own ways, own methods. That's why Baba's knowledge is so vast, so deep, so expanded form, Newness can be created all the time. Why not? Yeah. See, Baba he's wonderful, He'll say, I'm in bondage of the drama, and then he'll say, I'm the creator. Actually, he's not even the creator. Creator in the sense, Baba creates the new world. That's why it's called creator. But soul, supreme soul, and matter, all the three are eternal anyway. Who created the drama? Nobody created. If we say Baba created the drama, then what? Was it that there was no drama before that? It has always been there. But creator means Baba creates anew. Like he gives us a new life. He creates the new world. That is why he's the creator. But director, like Baba is called a director, but he doesn't direct us for every action. We are our own masters also. Each one is also directed by his destiny. But who created the destiny? Not God created. We all are the creators of our destiny. So this is a very intricate thing, but we understand the basics. And then we act accordingly. The drama is very accurate. Whatever happens, the drama is very accurate. Very accurate. This morning a thought came in my mind. I don't know if it came in your mind. In my mind it did come, because in India, these terrorist attacks, it's a big thing in India now. People are so afraid. In Bombay especially, they are afraid. So, Baba was saying in today's Murli, I don't know if you noted it, that who starts this destruction? Who gives them the touching of destruction? It's very true. You see, when Shiv Baba came in the body of Brahma Baba, at that time, destruction also started. How? It was Einstein, Niels Bohr, many scientists at that time, in 1935, 36, when they split the atom. It was during that time that by splitting the atom, the proton, electron, neutron, and all, when they split, the energy released through that split is tremendous. And that time Einstein gave the theory E equal to mc square. When you split the atom, the energy released from one atom is mass of the atom multiplied by the square velocity of light. And if it could be many atoms, then how much energy would be released? And that was the atom bomb that was thought of at that. It was just in the thinking process. And here God has started His work of establishment. So who must have given them the thought? Papa, no? Or drama, whatever you may say. But then we say whatever is happening in the drama has a reason. Nowadays terrorism, even that is a reason, no? If this terrorism wouldn't be there, how will disinterest in the world come? It will never come like that, because people think they are in heaven. They are in heaven. Yeah, Baba spoke about... No, they are not listening to the Pope. No, who's listening to the Pope? Pope is saying, don't have weapons, but who's listening to him? Yeah, means it's all destined in that way. So who will listen to the Pope? Otherwise he is the supreme of Christianity. Whatever he says, people should listen to him. But no, America, Russia, who is listening to him? No country. And all are Christians, nobody listening to him. Because it is all to happen in this way. It is destined in the drama. Okay, Om Shanti. Chalo.
प्रभु आपके यूं तो हम सारे पलकों में पलते बच्चे हैं, पर आपको वो बेहद प्यारे जो दिल के सच्चे सच्चे